are Chinese teachers still teaching the third tone the wrong way? Is this why so many Mandarin learners have trouble differentiating the second and third tones? In this video, we're gonna go over why the third tone is so important, what it really is, which is not a dipping tone, the simple trick that you can learn from Kim Kardashian to master the third tone.
Kardashian? Is that English?
And how to practice so you can make out automatic in 10 minutes. If you want a full picture of producing Mandarin sounds in your own natural voice as clearly and quickly as possible, you can click the link below to get my Chinese pronunciation roadmap. Now let's get started. First off, the third tone is critical for proper Chinese pronunciation because it appears in so many of the most common words. One-syllable words like and two-syllable words like. It's crazy to me how many students have been studying Chinese for quite some time, like 10 years, and get these wrong. But let me tell you, it's not your fault. A simple search will show you countless videos talking specifically about how to pronounce the third tone. And you may have imitated in a real exaggerated way, like 我很 yeah, but there's a problem. Almost every single one of these videos is wrong. Plus textbooks, dictionaries, apps, school teachers. It's not pronounced like that in real life. Unfortunately, if you listen to those introductions, you'll end up pronouncing all those basic words incorrectly. But you can spend 12 weeks with me and my team to master the Mandarin sound system, listening and speaking in our upcoming bootcamp. When you are taught that the third tone is a falling rising tone, even though your teacher may pronounce it really slowly and exaggerated, it'll still be really hard to differentiate between that and the second tone, which is actually a rising tone, because they both are going up at the end. If you have trouble telling them apart, when you go to pronounce it, there's a good chance it comes out wrong, which is why so many students' third tones sound like second tones. Plus, if you are trying to put this clunky falling rising tone in the middle of a sentence, it gets really hard to connect it to the syllables before and after it, so you sound unnatural while speaking. Even worse, it ends up affecting all your tones after it. This one little mistake messes up everything else around it. So the normal Chinese person who's not used to speaking with non-natives, they end up not understanding what you are saying, and everyone's frustrated. However, it doesn't have to be this way, because the third tone not only doesn't sound like this in real life, but it's also something that you can probably pronounce already. So if it's not a falling rising tone, a dipping tone, or a scooping tone, what is it? 你们以前可能没有学好。你们以前可能没有学好。Forget everything you've been told about it. Look at this. 你们以前可能没有学好。The third tone in Chinese is just a super low tone. It does go down a little bit, but it's mainly a low tone. And no matter what your native language is, you can definitely make this sound. But the real question is, how low? For that, there's no better teacher than Kim Kardashian. If you've ever heard Kim Kardashian speak, you might have noticed something special she does with her voice.
Naked, make selfies, guys do about it. Exactly. No, lie.
This is called vocal fry, and it's common among young women in the US.
Romantic ballet period, where the gender roles of ballet kind of diverged.
Excuse me, some of us would like to order.
There are several stereotypes associated with this style of English speech, but in Chinese pronunciation, it's just something everyone does all the time. Let's start off with a Chinese fourth tone, which tends to cover most of the range of our speaking voice from top to bottom. As we get to the bottom of our range and kind of start to run out of there, our vocal cords start to vibrate very slowly compared to when we are speaking normally, so we can hear the vibration more clearly now. If you just woke up and are kind of groggy, this might come up pretty naturally. Let's do it one more time. Just stay right there for a little bit, and this is essentially the third tone. So many teachers have you practice the third tone by elongating the syllables, but in reality, this sound is quite short. Let's practice some of the words we talked about before. 我好小以前没有老师 It might take a little time to get used to it, but start practicing with those higher frequency words to get the most of your practice time. By the way, I've seen a lot of commentary online about how vocal fry is really bad for your throat, but I'm pretty sure that stuff was written by people who just don't like the way it sounds. Vocal fry is a common feature in a bunch of different languages like Danish and Burmese. It's not just a way of speaking like in English, but an important feature that helps differentiate meanings between words. And these languages haven't died out, so this definitely isn't doing any damage. Also, I know there will be some teachers out there who say,
No, it's definitely a falling rising tone. That's how it should be taught.
And to that, I say, no. It does rise at the end in some situations, but only when it's being strongly emphasized or at the end of a sentence. In every other normal situation, it's just low and flat. All the latest research shows this, but there's always a lag between linguistic research proving things and teachers actually adopting it. Now, there's one thing that you do want to be careful about. Don't tense and definitely don't squeeze your throat. Like, something like that. Find some more authentic and natural audio recordings of things you can imitate, listen to them over and over, and record yourself as well. I know a lot of people hate the sound of their own voice, but if you record yourself and compare to the original, you'll find that it's a lot easier to correct yourself, and you'll start to internalize these sounds. It's important to do it with those high frequency combinations that we say the most often because they make up a much larger percentage of the third tones you'll use. And moving forward with anything you learn, remember Chinese is a tonal language, so make sure you read all new characters or words with the correct tones as much as possible. If your friend who's learning Chinese, or worse, your teacher tells you,
If you speak fast, tones don't matter.
delete their contact info and get a new teacher. Tones are always there, but your ears and vocal cords just aren't trained for them yet. Pronouncing a single third tone doesn't mean that you can always make a perfect vocal fry third tone without rising and falling. It's just a start, and you need to pay attention to the pitch every time you practice in a word, a phrase, as well as in a sentence, until you really internalize it without having to think about it anymore. Connected speech doesn't only mean to connect vowels and consonants as more languages do. The tones of each syllable are connected too. Know that when you want to sound fluent, you need to hear the sounds of natural speech clearly enough first, then slow down to form real habits for your ears and mouth. Fluency only comes after accuracy. If you're just starting to learn Chinese right now, great! This is the perfect time to adopt healthy pronunciation habits and do it correctly. If you've been learning for a while and just realized that you've been doing it wrong all this time, no big deal. The brain is good at adjusting as long as we keep drilling it and let it know it's important. Before you go and start practicing, remember this is just one piece of the puzzle. Go check out my video on tones to give you the bigger picture. And remember, with Fan 老师, Chinese makes perfect sense. See you all in the next video.